Great. Just gonna share my screen for a second and then we kick this off. So hello everyone. Welcome to our June pitching PowWow session at DueDash Cologne. We're very excited to have you all with us and also some great jury members. And tonight is all about pitching, going through your pitches and getting the feedback from the investors, from the jury members. But before we go into this, I just want to give you a quick introduction to DueDash, who we are, what we do, so you just get a perspective on that. So DueDash is working on the biggest challenge that most startups face, which is the access to capital investors. Less than 1% of startups ever raise any funding. And that's why, of course, we started DueDash to help US founders overcome these challenges, but also for the investors to find the right startups and be able to invest in these. So what we are building in the long run, and we're going to have it come out very soon, is an investability platform. So in this platform, you'll be able to have your documents and data ready, being shown what you need for investors, being able to get feedback from the system, sorted, able to share with investors the right types of documents, have the control of analytics, and also find the right investors who fit you. Because out of thousands and thousands of investors, maybe only a small set are the right ones for you, from the industry, stage focus, or also what you're looking for networks. So we already just started our waiting list for our beta, which will come up soon. So you can join this under DueDash.com. So I recommend you, all of the startups here and all the founders, definitely sign up tonight here for that as well. In addition, we also have already an existing community. The DueDash community has over 3,500 members, which grew organically over the last year. In this community, we also really help you through free education, success stories, providing expert feedback, but also organizing community events such as these ones. So you already can get in touch in front with investors, learn from that, and take the next step for your fundraising and go where. Also, for any startup, any founder who's in the audience who want to get some feedback, want to know kind of like, okay, what do I need to do? We're happy to provide you feedback on your pitch deck. You can just send us an email at pitch@DueDash Network. And also you can be able to get credits from our partners, which I will show in a second. So we have a large list of partners, and also can see like all these partners below. We offer startup credits or discounts. So for all of the startups here, but also anybody who sends us a pitch decks, we're happy to provide information on these so you can get these and use them for your own business. In addition, we are supported by a lot of different partners who are working together to support founders, investors in the ecosystem. That just was a brief intro to DueDash. And I think with that, we will come now to the session. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask me. Marcus here also in the chat, so we'll be happy to take up your questions. And now let's go into that. So today is a PowWow. So the word PowWow originally comes from a specific type of events for Native American people in the US. And people came together to dance, sing, socialize, honor the culture. In the same way, we want to do this here now for founders, kind of like we honor this kind of culture of pitching, going for the investors and bringing together in this nice, relaxed atmosphere, but also able to get input and potentially your next meeting with investor. That means your goal tonight is to get a wow. So what are the rules tonight? So every startup will have 3 minutes for pitching, exact, followed by 4 minutes of Q&A. And so we'll go through this 3, 4, and each of the startups. At the end, our jury members will have some time to go through each of the startups. We'll take in a separate breakout room and we'll think about, okay, who was my favorites? Who are like number 1, 2, and 3? In addition, each jury member can give a wow. A wow basically means I would like to meet you again to discuss potentially, maybe it could be an investment case, or introduce you to somebody who might be interested in potentially investing in you. So there could be multiple wows. There could also be no wows, right? So it depends on you if you can convince the jury members with your pitches. Now, 1 second. Before I come to the pitching startup, I noticed I think I had like the wrong slide deck because of one thing to add here. Give me 1 second, and then I will just open this as well. This here. Sorry for that. What I'm going to do is we have also a prize for tonight, which I just wanted to share with. I will do this probably without a slide deck, because probably was a mistake here, but no worries. So we'll have Data Vault, which is a way for you to securely share and exchange documents, also able to share your data room with investors and other people, which is sponsoring a 1-year free license for the winner of tonight's sessions. And in addition, for each of the startups and any founders interested, Data Vault offers 90% discount on any like a professional and premium packages. Marcus will share some more information very shortly for the session on how to avail this benefit. Now, let's come to the startups for tonight, so you know what you can expect. Let's go back to here. Here now. So something my document. So just so you can see it as well. So some of my document didn't want to update, not sure what happened here. So yeah, so Data Vault is happy to provide that 1-year Data Vault license as a prize for the winner. So kind of who is number 1. Now, our pitching startups tonight are Kivimo, Greendoor, RestoreHub, Uma, World Simplified, Yup, Apacado, and ReferRed. And before we go into the pitches, I still want to give our jury members some time to introduce ourselves. Oliver Kuschel, as well as Eugenio Grappa. So let me just kind of put the pin on you. Maybe Oliver will start with you, that you can introduce yourself as well as Eugenio afterwards. So yeah, Oliver, maybe introduce yourself just quickly for our startup so we know who you are.
Yes, yeah, nice to meet you all, guys. My name is Oliver. I'm a co-founder of Antropia GmbH, an NGO located in Duisburg in the Ruhr area. And we are running the Impact Factory. I guess it's one of the biggest, or maybe the biggest incubator, accelerator for so-called impact startups. So in our community are more than 120 startups right now, all with a positive impact upon society or our nature. So if anybody attending today feels that we might be the place for you, just give me a call or send me an email. Yeah, so I guess that's more or less it. I'm from the finance industry, working for KPMG for a long time. I'm CFA, so Chartered Financial Analyst. So I'm more into the figures and the business models and all this. So maybe I ask you questions about this later on. So that's maybe all you should know about me at this stage.
Great, thank you, Oliver. Then Eugenio, maybe you introduce yourself as well.
Sure. So my name is Eugenio Grappa. I am originally a biomedical engineer. I'm based between Frankfurt and the US in Silicon Valley, and I am the co-founder of Suplino, a supply chain support company, and also a head. We work with people to restructure their careers and career reentry after a long absence. And I'm also one of the directors of the Founder Institute here in Frankfurt. So I work both as a founder, a mentor, and an advisor, and an investor. My background is mostly tech and innovation and the biomedical field. So I won't be asking finance questions. I'll be asking more questions around either strategy or team or organization, and maybe a little bit around the tech. Happy to be here. And again, if you do have questions, or if you want interested in the Founder Institute or some of the other stuff that I do, feel free to reach out. Always open for virtual coffee or a conversation.
Great. Yeah, thank you too. I'm just gonna unpin you and then kind of like give it to our first startup, which is Kivimo. Let me just see, Konstantin, I think you were gonna pitch for us. Yeah, you just unmute yourself.
That's right, yeah.
Great, give me just a second. Just put this into full screen and I will let you know when you can start pitching. And are you ready? You don't wanna go full screen?
This would be awesome, yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay, whenever you're ready, you can start and have your 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. We are founders of Kimo, a platform that gives you insights into the current mood and motivation of your team. So managers gain insights into the mood of the teams, understand what's going on in their employees, and predict future development. We are Pascal, my colleague, former Microsoft programmer and management consultant, and Konstantin, that's me, business psychologist and scientific researcher in the field of team motivation and mood. A poor team atmosphere leads to demotivated staff, long periods of sick leave, and many resignations. So in concrete terms, small and medium-sized companies lose over 300 billion euros every year due to demotivated employees. However, 95% of managers say that above a team size of 5 people, they no longer have any insights into the motivation and mood of a team. The question, how is my team doing at the moment, which is so relevant, is therefore often difficult for managers to answer. And that's exactly why we developed Kivimo. Kivimo regularly and automatically measures the mood and motivation of the workforce and provides managers with insights about the highs and lows of the team. For this reason, we have developed a deep learning algorithm that analyzes the data, and in addition to helpful information about the past and current situation, can also provide forecasts about the future development of the team. Kivimo is a software as service and costs €50 per month for teams up to 15 people, and plus €3 for each additional team member. We get started with companies, for example, through Scrum Masters, HR developers, and representatives for occupational health management. So far, we've been able to convince more than 80 companies to at least test the software. Specifically, we are currently acquiring test customers through our existing network, and we'll supplement this further down the line through LinkedIn and email campaigns, and later through content marketing and, of course, business development. We are particularly interested in small and medium-sized companies with between 50 to 2,000 employees, as they can exploit the greatest potential of Kivimo. There are around 1,000 of these in Germany alone. Kivimo works fully automated and is cheaper and more effective than current methods used to survey team sentiment. This is because we are the only provider that have broken down elaborative survey tools, expensive company surveys, and time-consuming annual surveys to which small and medium-sized companies really need. So we are also the only provider to combine deep learning algorithms and team sentiment in a cost-effective way for small businesses. We will launch the first version in 2 months and then fully integrate the deep learning algorithm at the end of the year. In the course of 22-23, we also plan to expand internationally. We say your most important resource is the mood of your workforce. And that was our pitch of Kivimo, the first automated team mood platform with integrated deep learning analytics for SMEs. Here are our contact details again. And thank you very much for your time.
Great, yeah. That's good. Okay, I'm going to put Oliver and also Genia back here. So yeah, I think you can close the deck. And yeah, just going to have this. Yeah, and then we will have 4 minutes for Q&A. Oliver, you want to start?
Yeah, thanks for your pitch, Konstantin.
My pleasure.
It was quite fast, but so I didn't get really the USP of yours. So why do you really need deep learning? Isn't data science enough for this, what you want to achieve?
So the tool measures regularly and anonymously to always be in the picture. And our goal is for the employees to have minimal effort and to feel safe and see results at the same time. So the tool collects qualitative data and can recognize and extract patterns from words and phrases. So this can be used to roughly predict a development in order to step in earlier than usual. In fact, if you have a normal survey, so we are faster, and the manager or the whole company can see in which path the team is going down.
All right. And what kind of data are you analyzing then? Is it written data or?
Yeah, always written data. And we're using a huge database from the University of Potsdam. They are in a partnership with us, and they are collecting data for the last 5 years. And they are using like phrases and just written data to predict how people are feeling and if a team is in a good or in a bad mood. And we can use this in our software to integrate this whole algorithm.
All right. Yeah, Eugenio, before I raise too many questions, maybe I hand over to you.
That's great. I have one particular question. I'd like to hear, so you're currently, and thanks for the pitch, it's an interesting project, but I would like to hear, since you're now working with early customers and testing this out, what's the negative feedback that you're getting around, you're now asking people to fill out surveys, provide information about their space. What's the negative feedback that you're getting around intrusiveness or usefulness from the people who are using it? Are you getting any negative feedback? And if so, what type? How do you see that feedback, and how are you addressing that?
Yeah, of course, I'm honest with you. So yeah, we also get some negative response, but it's all about people are used to talk about their mood and not just see a value and then act upon it. So we talk to a lot of managers, and they are all saying in the first step, already talking to my employees, but when we are talking to the employees, they tell us, they just say something that they don't have any conflict. So if we show them that they can really make mood transparent and work with it, so they really can change something, most of the people from time to time, it needs some weeks to show what the software is doing. And then they see, because everything is anonymously, they see we can change something inside a team and the people are feeling safe. So this is a good output for both sides, for the managers and for the employees as well.
Okay, and in terms of concerns from the employees around privacy or the data
Last
that they're
30
entering,
seconds.
are they expressing that?
Pardon me? I didn't get it.
Are they expressing concerns? Are users expressing concerns in the workspace around privacy or other questions?
Yeah, in the beginning they did, but then we're trying to place ourselves as a neutral mentor. So a lot of companies are asking about integration in their own software or own
maybe one or two more sentences, just summarize kind of
in their own app. But we try to be neutral and have our own platform where the company can't work with just us, and we are providing the data.
Thank you.
Thank you, Konstantin.
Thank you.
We will go then to our next startup, which is Green Door.
Hello.
Let me just allow, I think I have to allow you.
Yes.
Okay, it should be possible now. Yeah, just.
Okay. So we are Janine and Irina from Green Door, and we would like to introduce you to Green Door as a new booking platform for sustainable accommodation. Green Door's aim is to connect travelers and hosts worldwide, while also simplifying the research and booking of sustainable accommodation. Yeah, we will now start to present you the three main pillars on which our concept is based, which would be first the community, which is really the heart piece of our project. The problem that we detected is that sustainable hosts and travelers are not well connected with each other. And therefore, we provide a solution of building a community of like-minded people and offering participation opportunities with the goal to strengthen collective engagement in the hospitality industry and beyond. The second pillar is the multi-dimensional definition of sustainability that we apply and that we guarantee with our criteria, after which we choose and rate the accommodation. It's very important to us that to make sure that social, ecological, and economic commitment count equally. And the third pillar is, on the one hand, the transparency of the offer, which is guaranteed by a double verification process. As a first step by the hosts themselves, and as a second step by the travelers from our community, the so-called Green Door experts who function as testers. And on the other hand, the traceability of the offer guaranteed by the rating of the accommodation with our green doors accordingly to how sustainable one accommodation is. And as you can see in our competition analysis is that one of our factors that differs us from the competitors is the community-based approach and also the sustainable approach we are addressing. And our sustainability criteria are, as you can see, are 10 in total. On the one hand, we are addressing social economical criteria, as for example, the commitment to inclusion and diversity in hotels. And on the other hand, ecological criteria, as for example, the accessibility of the accommodation, if you can, for example, reach it via train instead of just the airplane. And one accommodation receives one green door for every 2 criteria they meet. And our project milestones, as you can see, are the funding of the UG in end of February this year. The website launch is happening this month, and we recently started to contact some accommodations, and the feedback so far is great. And some of them are already committed to participate. And our long-term goal is the expansion of the network, as well as investor search, and our dream is to create an app in the future. So far, we have some cooperation partners, members, and supporters, as you can see, for example, the Gründerstipendium NRW, which is helping us to fulfill our vision of making the tourism sector more sustainable. Thank you for the attention.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me again put also our other jury members here on top. Then feel free to ask your questions.
Eugenio, do you want to start?
Sure, I'll start this time. So tell me a little bit about yourselves. Why you? Why are you bringing this solution to the market? That doesn't really come across so far. And I'd like to understand what you're bringing, not only as to your project, but your personal commitment or background that really is going to make you stick to this for 3, 4, or 5 years.
Yeah. I think, first of all, besides the professional background, we both traveled a lot. We love to travel. And we both worked in hotels already. And we also, with all the contact that we had to host so far, we really felt that all this big booking platform like Booking, they really create a gap between the hosts and the travelers, because often the hosts don't even know who they will receive. And we want to kind of, in the same time, create an exchange between the host and the travelers to strengthen collective engagement and to make the tourism industry more sustainable. And for the background, I think we also have some besides working experience. I, for example, studied nonprofit management, which is kind of a different direction, I would say, but in my studies, I focused on sustainability and while traveling, and I was writing my master thesis about how sustainability and traveling could be matched easier or better. And the thing I was figuring out in my master thesis was that the main aspect was that especially in the accommodation sector, there were wishes from the sides of the travelers to have more transparency, and to also they didn't really see opportunities to where to book the places they would like to stay at. And I think that was mostly the background from one side the master thesis, and on the other side our personal experience while traveling, that we were missing all these opportunities too. So I think that's the main reason. It's a bit idealistic also, I think.
Okay, Oliver?
All right. Yeah, I would like to raise a question. If sustainability is such a big issue in the traveling sector, and it's interesting for the customers, obviously, why shouldn't then Airbnb adopt your concept and just do it like you do it or want to do it? So it would be easy for them to adopt this.
Yes, for now they don't. We believe that Airbnb is really aiming to make profits. It's maybe a different kind of financial concept also behind, while we really want to only take the minimum commission, for example, because all the already existing booking platform, they take a lot of commission. We reduced the commission to 10%. This was with all our financial calculation. This was the minimum that we could take to still generate enough money for us to make our living. And we also have a lot of opportunities for travelers to give money, to donate money for association. And yeah, besides that, I think that the target group is just a different one. Like I think Airbnb travelers are maybe somehow like traveling on a specific what is it in English? Okay. No, I mean a specific budget, but on the other hand, I think they are not really into sustainable like issues. I mean, some of them, of course, they are, but I think the thing is that our target group is like should be mostly a kind of idealistic one, which is also aiming to not only look at sustainability on just one side. And it's not only private hosts.
Maybe one or two more sentences, and then we would go to the next one.
Okay.
You can still finish, yeah.
No, and it's also, we are not addressing only private hosts who have a accommodation to offer, but we also address hotels and farms and all different kinds of accommodation.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go to the next one, which is Restore Hub. I think I'm just gonna here allow you to, yeah, you can now share. Yeah, you can share the screen, Andre, and then yeah. Perfect. Great. Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Okay, so maybe let me go full screen. Okay. Hello, my name is Andre. Welcome to Restore Hub pitch deck. Who we are? We are a SaaS platform which automates data snapshots in cloud clusters. So it's really related with software development in clouds. Who are our potential customers? Our potential customers are software developers who create applications for clouds and especially for Kubernetes, for example. Especially if they use relational databases, especially if they use different files, NoSQL data storages, and so on. So if data is diverse, then they are our customers, potential customers. We estimate that this market, developer tools market, will grow up to $14 billion in 2025. And all these customers, potential customers, which pain points they have. We identify these pain points with my co-founders because we are also cloud engineers and we work in software development. And one big pain of developers, which we try to automate, is particular data context. What does it mean? It means that when developers develop software, they usually need to prepare some data to fix some bugs, maybe to create some features. They need to have some data in databases, some files, and so on to reproduce this bug and so on. And they spend a lot of time, or not a lot, but they still spend time to prepare it even before to start development. Also, the second part here, we have a second pain point is data transfer between clusters, because in modern development, usually people have a lot of different environments and data should move through these environments, even sometimes from one cloud provider to another cloud provider, or even on premise, for example. And third pain point here is that when we move data in between different environments, like for example, from production to some development environment, we need to anonymize it, for example, or adjust it in some way. And also it takes some time and it is a pain point as we identify it. What is the solution? So our solution works like, if you know, it's a technical stuff, it's like a Docker but for data. So in general, we prepare a kind of archive of all the data from database, from files, from NoSQL storage. We prepare it together, we put it together, encrypt it, we deduplicate it, put it to our cloud, and then we can deploy it back, for example, to the same cluster, or to deploy it to another cluster, which have the same application. Unique selling points. As we measured, we can help to save at least 30–40%.
Need to now slowly come to an end. We had 3 minutes.
Okay,
so one or two sentences. Yeah.
And then our application, we are focused on application, and we can help to to developers, not to cluster providers, not to cluster operators, because mainly all current tools are working with cluster admins. Maybe yes, that's it.
We will come to our jury then, and then also we have 4 minutes time. Yeah.
All right, Eugene, you are the tech guy.
I'll start off.
Let you start.
I'll start off, and I'll start off with a little bit of a technical question. This isn't my domain in particularly, but I'm a little concerned about your clarity around your competitors. There are several people working, or several companies working in the domain of cloud instancing, like Cohesity, Kasten, etc.
Yep.
How do you differentiate? I think you need to clarify how you differentiate between what they're doing and what you're doing in terms of differentiating value for the programmers.
Mostly from our experience, as we know at least, as we can estimate it, all the solutions you mentioned already, and there are even more solutions on this market, they are oriented to clusters. So if you are a cluster operator, you can operate with this cluster. But if you're a developer, you usually even don't want to know how it works inside the cluster, what is behind. So you just write code, and sometimes you need to have data by you. And you need to go click 3 clicks, make 3 clicks, and that's it.
So an earlier step, you're in the staging level, and you're in the development side rather than in a production system. Okay.
Yes, it's mostly for development procedure, not for some exploitation on production.
Okay, Oliver?
Yes. How far are you with your development? Are you already having an existing solution that you are selling? And how many sales have you done so far? And what do you want to achieve in 2021, maybe?
We even don't have a legal entity right now. So we are a team of 3 developers, and we prepared a kind of a proof of concept, which can demonstrate how technically it works. But we don't have any customer right now, and we try to do it right now. So it's our current goal to get some traction here.
All right. And the revenue model will be then? How will it work?
Like Jira, if you know Task Tracker Jira, they give some free access to you, so you can be registered and work for free, but with some limitations. Then you can pay, and these limitations could be lower. And also, as in Jira, you can use cloud version, or if it's important for you or company is big, you can download, or not download, but install our platform to your infrastructure also. So something like that. But it's quite the same as for Jira.
All right.
Quick question then on my side. Since you're still in proof of concept, what is your plan in terms of customer interviews or programmer interviews to move your project forward and really get feedback from actual users?
Currently, we are almost done with some first MVP, which we can demonstrate to our customers, and maybe we can try to integrate it to some potential customers. But we have no customer pool right now. And our plan is to finish this MVP and to go to first customers and get feedback from them, even maybe for free.
I'm thinking not so much actual customers, but really potential users, developers.
20 seconds left.
Giving you feedback.
For example, there is one thing which we plan to use. It's Upwork. It's kind of escrow tool, and there we plan to maybe hire some people for that to test it and to give some first feedback. Because, for example, we participated also in this approach, and then anyway, we need to propose it to some real customers to get this information.
Thank you, Andre, as well. Then we go to our next startup.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Which would be Uma.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just allow you screen share as well. Yeah, you should be able now to do that. Does it work or some issues here?
Yeah.
Ah,
It's
perfect.
my
Yeah,
problem.
then no problem. You can start whenever you're ready.
Yeah, thank you. So, hi and welcome. We are UMA and we want to simplify and digitize the health supply of pregnant women. Our founding team is highly motivated and well compared. We are, so who we are. So it's Miriam Peters. She's a midwife since 10 years already, and she's also a scientist. My name is Elena Kirchner. I'm a designer, and my focus is mainly newborn and pregnancy items since 5 years. And Jona Polak is one of our co-founders. He's a software developer, and he's working in this business since 7 years already. Pregnancy is one of the most emotional events in life, but even this event can be covered with unexpected problems and unnecessaries. And for example, every fifth woman is not able to get a midwife, even if she wants to have one. And around 78% of the women are facing a high risk pregnancy, which is connected with a higher need of high quality informations. Our mission is to self-empower women with science-based informations to make their life easier through flexible integration of medical support in their daily life. And with this, we want to aspire for relief for midwives, doctors in their daily business. UMA is built to track your health status and your pregnancy symptoms. You will receive feedback to all your questions, and all informations are certified and personalized on your health profile. How we are different. So our difference is that we are focused on the medical support, and that we are also addressing high-risk pregnancies, which is truly unique in this market already. We want to be a part of a better health supply, so we want to be certified as a DIGA early next year. As a DIGA, we will reimbursed by health insurance companies with 360 euros per pregnancy. For this, we are already certified as a medical device in this year in May. We want to build a strong brand which empowers women through their pregnancy. And we want to reach out to the midwives and doctors and build a cooperation with them, and also build up a knowledge network from which they will benefit as well. The future of the health of pregnant women will be individualized, science-based, and digital network. Thank you very much.
That was very good on time. Great. Let me also put Eugenio here up. Then,
okay.
If you can feel
so this is part of my field. I'm very interested in what you're doing in terms of you're really addressing a fantastic problem. Information for difficult pregnancies is very difficult to have in a clear way and in a functional way. So doing that well is a real service. My question is really around what happens, what is your business plan or your, how you're going to get your product to market if you don't get the DIGA certification? What are you thinking around in terms of the business model that you'll have in that case?
So we think that so we would have another price model if we are not reimbursed by the health insurances. I think then it would be useful to internationalize our product sooner, but we think that we are on a real good path to be a DIGA.
Okay. Oliver?
Yes. So yeah, my wife and me, we have 3 kids, and we haven't any problems to find a midwife. So I wasn't aware that it's a big problem. And if so, but if you have a risk pregnancy, are you then good only with an app that serves you? Are you then not have to have a midwife if you have a risk pregnancy? So or a doctor that is nearby. Yeah. So I wouldn't feel safe with just an app to serve me then.
So that's not the idea. So we just want to give a connection or a more easy connection to the midwife or the doctor. So it should be something which is combined. And what we want to do is to get the very first questions you have in the pregnancy, like what can I eat? Can I fly? What about the wine last night? Is it is it not good for my child? We want to get these or grab these questions and give the midwives and the doctors more time for the real things they need to talk about. And the high-risk pregnancies can check their blood pressure by themselves, so they don't need to go to the doctors every day. So there are 8% which needs to go to the doctor like every day or like regular in the week, just to check their blood pressure, which they can easily do from home.
Yeah, bouncing off of what Oliver was asking, the idea that you will reduce the number of visits for high-risk pregnancies may not happen. I'll give you a clear example. The signs for preeclampsia in an overweight person, overweight woman, are going to be difficult for an individual to discern. So having a call with somebody is going to be very much, you will have the responsibility to push people to go see a physician much sooner than you would if the person was doing nothing. The outcomes are better. Going to see a doctor when you have a risk like that is probably a good idea. So think about that idea of reducing or proposing a reduction in number of visits may not be where you want to position yourself. It may be a balance of better health outcomes rather than reducing the number of visits.
Yeah, that's true. That's the idea of the self-tracking. So the person who's typing in her blood pressure or blood sugar will get a risk
assessment,
feedback, and so they will get like your blood pressure is okay or not. So please go and visit your doctor or midwife.
Thank you, Elena. I think when we would come also to our next startup. So just, yeah, same as one. I'm just allowing you to for screen sharing. Yeah, Amit, I think you have to unmute yourself first, and then you can start sharing your screen. Yeah, you can start showing, and whenever you're ready.
I just hope my screen is visible.
Yes,
in Zoom times, it's always difficult to get that clarity across.
It looks good. You can start.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Amit Mundra, and I represent an idea called as World Simplified. We are an expats and immigrants single service portal, wherein the entire aim is to build a 360-degree platform to help immigrants and expats right from the thought process of the ideation to move to another country right till the time they settle down or they have further needs. What we have gone ahead is we have identified a few problems. So there is a lot of expenses which are higher expenditures, and people do not have a clear clue over it. Second is there's a lot of information which is scattered all around the internet, and there is no concrete source of providing a genuine sort of information. People do not have clues about what are they supposed to do after landing into a new country. And plus, more so when it relates to moving or taking up help of consultants, they are very expensive to a great extent. You have to build up or take up an entire package, and you're still not sure whether you're going in the right direction or not. This is where we have come across to understand the journey behind an expat, because I'm myself an expat in Germany, and that's how I have devised the journey. So we start with the blogs, wherein we have quality content coming across every week. We release at least 2 to 3 blog posts, wherein we try and give the right kind of information that is available from a personal perspective. Apart from that, I mentioned that their consultants are very expensive to hire. So what we do generally is there is a Q&A session where you don't have to hire the consultants. You can just hire them for a question. You can come onto the platform and take consultancy services wherein you don't have to book the entire package, but you can pick it up as per your need in a la carte. And the last is in the connect phase is also about when you land into a new country, there is someone there to help you integrate and take you through the initial steps of registrations and all. This is the projected market space with regards to the reports from UN. We're talking about almost 408 million immigrants by 2050. And what we target is 3% of this projected population by 2025, which is close to about 8.5 million overview that we're talking about. So there is a competitor landscape, but it's all scattered, as I just talked about. So there are blogs, there are consultants, but it's all scattered, and there's no single platform that we have come across which is providing all of the services. As I said, it's a journey that we take you through right from your search till the end, wherein you even provide you classifieds and all other services. The business model, we have various business models. We are already working with a lot of affiliates. We have the Q&A and the marketplace charges, and we're going to take a 15% commission out of the service providers. We're already live in Germany as of now, projected to go to 35 countries as of now. So that is what the pitch is.
Great. That was also very good on time. And now we will have 4 minutes for Q&A.
Yes, maybe I start. Amit, the revenue model is not quite clear for me. So I read like 35 euros per question. So so you're an immigrant and you have a question, and then you go to your platform and you say, okay, I need help, this and that, and you raise a question, and then if it's answered, I pay, or I pay in advance, or and
so you pay in
yeah.
advance.
All
okay, right. Because there are the service providers are not us who are giving you the answers. Those are certified service professionals like lawyers, tax consultants, and all who are giving you that answer. So it's like a lot of times it happens that you just want an answer to a specific question. Maybe my landlord is not giving me my caution back. What am I supposed to do? So there you don't have to hire an entire consultant for an hour, pay him 200, 300 euros. Just go to the consultant, get a question answered. And then if you want further services, you can book him for the consultancy services.
All right. So, but there's money involved, yeah, in the problem. So if it's not a real problem, would I pay 35 euros for just a question? What I have? So I'm not quite sure. But you're an immigrant, you know that a lot of questions, and would you all pay 35 euros for each question you have? Yeah,
Absolutely
I'm
not.
Yeah.
And that's why we have the blog. And because of that blog, we have a lot of traffic. And because of this, we have already affiliates running across.
All right. Mm-hmm. Good. Eugenio?
Yeah, I'm a serial immigrant, so I see the need. I actually use a service for immigration paperwork. I'm not going to go into that, but I do understand the problem. I would say that in terms of your competitors, you actually have two major competitors that I didn't see you list there, and you need to consider them. And I would like to hear how you consider them. One is Google. If I have a question around finding around a specific problem, I Google. The other one is going to be Facebook groups, where people with experience are going to answer my question somewhat well, not that well, conflicting answers. How do you address that? Because those are really important competitors.
So the first and foremost, I have myself experienced this, and that's why we have thought about the question answer, because the first problem that I also mentioned is there's a lot of scattered information which is available on Google. And to find an authenticated source of the answer to my problem is a very difficult task in Google. However, that can be brought down narrowly on Facebook groups, wherein you can post the same question and get some answers. I'm not saying that the answers are wrong, but the problem is the answers is pertaining to my situation, which may not be the same for you. That is the problem that we're trying to address with the question and answer session.
Okay, then how are you going to create that trust relationship? I look at your website, and how do I know that I'm really working with experts?
So first and foremost, we give an entire clarity as to who the expert is, what is his services, his certificates. So the expert can also list down his certificates and show it to the customer. or that is certified to give you enough that service. Plus, there will be rating system from other customers who have taken up that service. So it's a very transparent process in the entire structure of formations.
Okay.
All right. How much money do you need right now to get it up and running?
So as of now, we launched the MVP in February, and then COVID happened. I don't know, some countries are in third wave, some are in second wave. But apart from that, also, we have had genuine organic traffic already moving in. So we already have some 200 plus customers listed on the website. We already have 23 plus service providers. So currently we're looking for pre-seed rounds close to about 250,000 euros to get it kickstarting. And all of this has been done without any marketing spend.
Thank you, Amit. Also go to the next one. Let me then also just put this away, and when we would have its next yup. I'm just gonna allow you screen sharing as well. Yes. So yeah, you can share your screen, and now it should be possible.
It should be there, right?
Yes, we can see it.
Good. So we are Yup, and we create design to empower people with dementia. Here you see my grandfather, Michel, and me, and he got diagnosed with dementia 2 years ago. And for us, it was a challenge because we didn't have any experience with dementia, and we also didn't have much knowledge how to act with people with dementia. And that's why we ran into a lot of challenges that have to be there. Because people with dementia have an increased need for orientation. They're more listless and lack motivation, and they have a decreased ability to communicate. This is on some days. There are also many good days, but the public image of dementia is rather negatively shaped. And that's also a reason why it was for us very hard to talk about it and to ask for support. And it's our experience is that if you know more about dementia and how it's actually, what is how it works, I would say, it's getting so much easier. That's what we experience, but it's kind of hard to manage your family, work, care, and then also have the time to collect more information. And the well-being of the relatives is so critical for the well-being of the loved ones. So we also want to help them to provide better care and make their life easier. That's, well, that's why we have an interactive information platform, because we want to provide a fun way of learning about dementia, so everyone can have his or her individual learning paths with short sessions that can be combined, for example, with commuting to work. And this is because information make a lot of things easier. We are also experiencing, okay, that's not everything you need. You also need support in your everyday life. And that's why we have digital everyday helpers, which, for example, support orientation. And then we have analogous everyday helpers, where you can see our book, which is going to be launched in July, which is more activating, and is it's using the motoric, haptic, and sensory experiences, and it's far more easier accessible for people with dementia. Our business model has on the one side the interactive information platform. This is our marketing tool. It helps us to build trust and collect data to get better at meeting our customer needs. And on the other side, we're creating our revenues through our web shop, where we sell our own product developments, as well as third-party products, which meet our high standards for usability and design. And the market is currently still growing. It's expected to be 2.5 million people with dementia in Germany by 2050. And we're not only having products for people with dementia, we are also developing products for their relatives. And
slowly come to an end.
We're combining a business perspective as well as a design perspective. Corinna is an expert in universal design, and until now we have been bootstrapped and looking for a pre-seed investment.
Great. Then we also have again 4 minutes for Q&A.
Okay, maybe I'll start, Oliver.
Yes.
So Lena, you're addressing an important problem. I'm actually moving to the US in a couple of days because my family's getting older. I need to take care of my father. So clearly, mental issues, dementia are issues that concern all of us, and it's a growing population. What isn't clear for me, and maybe you can explain that a little bit. You talked about an app and addressing that as a tool that's going to help either the caretakers or the people with dementia. This wasn't really quite clear.
Okay, yeah.
And what's not clear to me is really how that enters your business model of a web shop. So you might be talking about different projects.
Well, the first thing is we want to inform people, because when people get the diagnosis, most people don't know much about dementia, and they search for information. That's why we have the interactive information platform to be the first, one of the first points of contact, and give them the information they need in a way that it's easy for them to collect those informations and to have an interactive approach. It's not an app. It's an app. You don't need to install anything because people have too many apps on their phones already, in my opinion. Right. It's on our website, and you can just click through.
Okay. Oliver?
Yes. All right. So as I understand, so the mainly revenue driver is your web shop that you set up, where people can buy something, right? Okay. And the app you need for content marketing to attract people to your web shop.
Well,
right?
it's content marketing, but it's also data collection for us, because we have interactive elements in there. It's not just reading text. It's also answering questions to see if people actually understood what we're trying to teach them. And and we also see what their actual needs are. So it's easier for us to make a better and more efficient product development and develop the products that they actually need.
All right. Okay. Yeah, it's to set up an app just to attract people it's a very expensive way, I think, to get people on your web shop. Yeah, so normally you can maybe have your own website and then attract the people, and so I don't know whether the app is really necessary maybe at a later stage, because you need developers for this as well. And I saw in your team that you don't have developers so far. Is that where you need the money for?
Well, the MVP of the interactive information platform is there, and I built it myself. But I also have an external IT expert which is supporting if I reach my boundaries. All
right. Okay, but that is where you need the money for the 250 mainly setting up the infrastructure digitally.
It's for the interactive information platform, but also for more products. You saw the book that's completely bootstrapped. But we're planning far more products where we need more financial resources.
Mm-hmm.
Any last points? You have 25 seconds left, or otherwise we'll move on when you. Okay. Then I would say thank you, Lena.
Thank you, Lena. Yes.
Thank you.
And let me, I think next we have Apacado. I'm just going to put you also on the stage. And you should be able to share in a second. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
You can, now should be possible to share.
Okay, yes, I can.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
So, yes. Now we are ready. And welcome to Apacado, the intelligent parking guidance system for truck drivers. And we solve a huge problem in Germany, but not only in Germany, in Europe. We have a huge lack of parking lots for truck drivers. So in fact, we have over 23,000 parking lots were missed every day. And this results in illegal parking, in exceeded driving times, and danger to themselves and other roads, so drivers. So we invented our app Apacado.
Exactly. Thank you, Philip. Yes, as Philip said, in February 2020, we found Apacado. With Apacado, we are developing an intelligent parking guidance platform for truck drivers in Europe. For the truck drivers, it works very simple. The truck driver just chooses his or her start and destination point and the remaining driving time. The algorithm calculates the optimized parking lot on the way. Life never runs or never goes as planned. So Apacado runs this algorithm every couple of minutes and checks if the parking lot is still reachable or not. If not, the parking lot, the truck driver gets a notification and gets a new parking lot pre-booked. The old parking lot is released again and is made available for all the other truck drivers on the road. To fill the algorithm from the beginning on with data, we are currently analyzing satellite pictures to find out the locations of parking lots across Europe. And in the second step, analyze the utilization of those parking lots. To increase the amount of parking lots, we are partnered up with camera and sensor system manufacturers, and that allows us to make more parking lots bookable across Europe. All this leads to the decrease of extra driving time for truck drivers, and therefore the reduction of the environmental pollution, and in general, an ease of the traffic situation across Europe.
And our business model, you can compare it to Airbnb. It's a platform for parking lot owners and for truck drivers. We bring them together and we earn our money through fees, through booking fees. And our goal is to have 3 different packages for monthly subscription to get it more flexible. And this is our team. We are a team of 4. We are digital natives and mainly focus on the logistics industry. And what we've reached so far is we have 3 huge partners now back, and over 250 registered beta testers actually now, and over 700 listed
1 or
partners
2
for
last
truck
sentences.
drivers. And currently we're looking for investments of 250,000 to get 5,000 bookings per month in June next year. Thank you.
Just putting Owens as well.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much. Maybe I start, Eugenio. Are you only then checking the parking lots that are already digitized, or can you use the satellite photos as well? So that's my first question. If you answered, maybe I have a second one.
Yeah, we have to divide it into two parts. One part is just optimize routing. So we analyze the satellite pictures to find out where parking lots are and how they were utilized in the history, and to focus it to the future and just optimize the algorithm. And the second step is to make parking lots bookable. That's why we digitize parking lots to check if the parking lot is used or is not used or is free. So we can send new drivers there and make it bookable.
So so if a parking lot is not digitized, do you give the information then that there's a free parking lot to the driver, even though you don't earn any money?
We give the information that there is a parking lot and we guide there, but we cannot promise that there is a free parking lot for the driver.
All right. Okay. And the digitization, who's paying that? You or the parking lot owner, or who's paying it?
We just partnered up with manufacturers. So we have a package with them and go to the owners of parking spaces, and they pay for the service and provide us the data. So we are only the data provider.
All right.
We don't have anything to do with the setup of the digitized parking.
Okay. Eugenio?
Yeah, so my question was similar in that space. So the extent of the value of your service is very dependent on the installation of this equipment. How do you push that or drive that? Or are you just very dependent on somebody installing the hardware? And if so, is your ask sufficient in terms to run a beta and push or set up certain spots that are fully digitized?
Yes, it depends on how much parking lots we have digitized, and what's good for us is that the German Federation supports the digitization of parking lots. So there's a financial support for them who wants to digitize the parking lots, and we want to use this and put it in a package with the sensor manufacturer to give it to the parking lot owners so that they only have to say yes, and we do all the work so that they can be bookable, the parking lots, and can be digitized.
And those partnerships are now in place.
Yes, they're now in place, and yeah, we need the money to grow faster now.
Okay.
Plus, we already have the partnership with Bosch, as mentioned in this one slide, and they also have parking lots available already that we right now are doing our MVPs or pilot projects with.
So for your MVP, how many spots do you have already in place?
We are right now talking with Bosch about 60 parking lots.
Okay.
Yes, which will be available next month.
That's great.
Yeah. Great. I think then, thank you guys as well. Then we would come to our last startup for today, which is with Forward. I'm just going to put you up as well. So yeah, you can start sharing, and then you have 3 minutes.
Everyone can see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Ralph, and I'm the founder of Referrad. So to give a very short introduction, Referrad is all about restoring of abandoned bikes, bike scraps, bike waste in Germany. And for a note, Referrad is a zero digital startup. And in the business concept, we do have two different phases. I'll talk about the first one. People in Germany, at least one should have came across these abandoned bikes lying around the train station or getting rusted in the corners of the streets. Some people might have felt annoyed, or some might have questioned themselves, who the hell have left these bikes here? And, to create an environmental impact due to the corrosion, it eventually also contributes to the increase of CO2 emission. So to bring this down, we took the responsibility of those abandoned bikes with the support of Public Order Office and the local administration. Again, we bring all those bikes to the local warehouse where it is getting completely repaired and refurbished for a new life. And we try to sell these bikes to the customers for a cheaper price with a certification of theft-free and registered bike. In the phase 2, we just don't get bikes, abandoned bikes from city. We also get bikes from the people, used old, unused bikes, also for a fair price. And again, as a fun fact, at least one bike for a German family should be kept in the keller, in the garage, unused for a longer duration. So what if we say there is a reward for all those unused bikes? Yeah, and that's the concept, to bring all those unused bikes to make it a reusable one, because we work on the concept of reusing, not recycling. And our target market is young students, because young students always looking for a sustainable solution and an affordable bikes. To be precise, international students and the rest of the population. International students, when it comes to Germany, it's an ever-growing market. And rest of the population, everyone wants an inexpensive bikes. And this is our sales strategy. We do have 3 different strategies. One is customers can buy directly from the e-commerce website. And second one is through the internal sales representative, so-called freelancers. So they work on a commission basis. So they bring bike, they get commission. They sell bike, they also get commission. And third one is we also work and have cooperation with German and Indian academic agencies who bring international students to reach German universities. And these people help us to sell bikes to the students. In this case, students don't end up in buying a stolen bike, and we do encourage students to support sustainability and to be sustainable. And these are the price categories of the bike. And the price categories.
Maybe one or last two sentences. And then...
Okay, the competitors are eBay and Facebook groups, and most of them, they don't have it. And our milestones, we are currently in contact with Dormagen and City Gravenbosch, and we look forward to working with them.
Great.
And what do we know is the connections with local authorities, social organization, and bike-related startups, and our workstation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now we have 4 minutes for questions.
All right.
You're muted again.
Yeah, I guess I'll start. Yeah, I've got a big question for you.
Yeah.
So great idea. I used to live in Munich. I saw all these piles of bikes everywhere. So I understand what's going on there. But I would imagine that managing your inventory, space, location, repair is going to be part of the overall operating cost that you that isn't clear to me. I think that in your model, it doesn't come across yet. Could you talk a little bit about how you're going to manage?
That's the reason I'm sitting in front here.
That?
Yeah, exactly, because that's the thing we are facing right now, the challenge, the main challenge. You know, where do we store the bikes? And that's the reason we are also asked help with the cities. You know, for example, we also had a contact with Dormagen and City Gravenbosch. So we are now negotiating if they can provide us a warehouse.
Okay. And so you need to have that type of support from the city or public support in order to maintain your space.
Exactly. Because to be honest, city wants to get rid of the bike. And
Sure.
I'm saving the city's resources. If city themselves needs to take the bike, they need a Ordnungsamt officer, they need a bike, car, auto, and they need to spend a lot. If they could just give me a warehouse, I could save them a lot of resources.
Okay, Oliver?
And you're ready.
Yes, yeah, I think, yeah, my question went in the same direction than from Eugene. I think the refurbishment of old bicycles that you find somewhere, it's more than, it's more in a marketing thing, I guess. I think it won't turn into a sustainable business model if you take the old bikes. Yeah, obviously, I think if you get used ones from in our garage, they're sitting at least 2 bikes we don't need anymore. Yeah, so I would love to sell them to you. Price is not really an issue. So if I know they're used, I'm fine. So that can maybe be a business model that you buy used ones and then you sell them or you lease them. Yeah, and maybe the refurbishment from old bikes, maybe it's more that you get money from the city to remove them. Yeah, so I think you should have a revenue stream around this thing, because if you have 1,000 bikes, old one, rusty ones, I think it's I don't think it will be a business.
Yeah,
obviously.
I'm sorry if I said it wrongly. I'm not buying it from anybody.
No, I know, but you should get money for that. You take them from the city, not even getting the space, but get money for each bike.
City is providing the resources, and city is providing me the Farad mechanic and all kinds of resources as much as they could.
All right, and maybe one question about the competition: aren't there already services around bikes for students?
No, because in this case, no. Our student market is completely different. Our student market doesn't exist in Germany.
Okay, because I know from the Netherlands, because I've been to Amsterdam, they have these bikes with the blue tires. And I Googled it, why are they running around with blue tires? And there are all these leased bikes for students. That's not the case in Germany, that we have a market for this?
Yeah, they do have swap lift, if I'm not wrong, the company.
All right.
But it's little expensive, you know.
Okay.
It's per month, 60 euros, but the bike cost is 90 euros.
Okay.
Great. Yeah, with that, we had our startups. I hope that was all good. So what comes in next? Just you to know, so we will give our jury members a couple of minutes just to go through the startups, which was their favorite, We also just shared the poll for you also decide from the audience side, which was your favorite startup, right? And then in like 5 minutes, we will have the winners. For a second, I will put you, Eugenio, Oliver, with Mike Marcus in a separate room. And then you can just go through it to decide who were our 3 winners, like the 3rd place, 2nd place, 1st place, and if we had any wows. So you can join that session. And yeah, just join in, take it from where. Great. Now we still have a couple of minutes while we wait for the others.
No one is here.
Yeah, let me put a pin away. I'm just gonna mute you. Sure.
बोलना तो फिर
मैंने तो सुमित को फोन भी किया, मैसेज भी किया है, और ये भी पता है मेरा ज्वाइन नहीं हो रहा है, आप ज्वाइन करो।
फिर भी नहीं किया है।
Please make sure that you're not saying something, just muting yourself. Okay, we still have a couple of minutes. And in the meanwhile, what we can just use, maybe some of the startups just want to share, how do you prepare for such pitches? And how was it for you? 3 minutes might be very short. Let me just ask you, maybe Elena, maybe you want to share, how was the pitch for you and how did you prepare?
To be honest, it's a couple of days ago since I've pitched the last time, and I think it's the 2nd time in English, so it's also complicated for me, like a native German girl. And I prepared like I think 1 hour beforehand, and just tried to get the 3 minutes on time, and I think this one worked out for me. And was nice again to pitch.
Great. Yeah, who else would like to share something? Maybe Andre, Lena, anybody of Philip, anybody of you guys would be interested to share?
No, okay, let me say.
Ralph, yeah, please go ahead.
He said, 3 minutes is like, just like that gone. Maybe we should give maybe 4 minutes for us and 5 minutes for the questions.
Yeah, we actually kind of put it with purpose very briefly. I tell you why. Like sometimes you only have not very much time to convince an investor, either it's like in or you're out, right? Like sometimes they're like, just give me your stuff, like you have 2 minutes, and then afterwards you decide if I continue on. So sometimes it's kind of like just on the spot, right?
Yeah.
Just
and
going
5
into
minutes.
it.
5 minutes was the minimum pitch what I gave till now. I don't know if.
Yeah, Lena, I saw you unmuted yourself.
I actually did the 3-minute pitch 2 weeks ago to an investor, and but he had a lot of input which we should improve. So today was kind of a balancing with putting all the new stuff in and still keeping the 3 minutes. But I trained a few times in the bathroom, and then I reached the 3 minutes, and then I thought I would be fine. But life is always different than the training.
Yeah, it's true. You have to kind of like adapt and make the best out of it and work with it. Yeah, I think we have like soon. Yeah, we have still like 2 minutes, so we come back. Who else would like to maybe share? Konstantin.
So we're always prepared to do a 5 minutes pitch. So 3 minutes was really a challenge for me or for us. That was the reason why I spoke a little bit fast, I think, because it's not that easy to understand. I think our model, if you have just this little time, so we have this model and everything else, and but I'm glad that we could compress everything in at least 3 minutes. And I hope every one of you understood what we were making, and that I didn't speak too fast. I'm not sure about this.
No, I think that's fine. It's kind of like finding the right balance. How do you put all the information in that frame? And I think it's that lets you rethink what do I actually need, what is essential, and how long do I take?
What's essential is my big problem, because for me, I'm a psychologist, and I'm always using words that I'm not sure about if others are familiar with this. So I think every one of you knows this when you using words in your own little bubble. So another challenge in 3 minutes to use words everyone should understand. Another challenge for me here.
And I think Amit, you unmuted yourself. I think I saw it in a second.
Yeah, so I can probably just share my experience. What I have been doing in the past for all my previous startups also is I've always created elevator pitch of a minute, then one presentation for 3 minutes, another for 5, and then a longer presentation. So depending on whatever time availability is there during that pitch, I try and work out that particular number of slides in that pitch, and that helps to keep the time frame. I cannot say accurately in position, but yeah, pretty much there. So then I know in 3 minutes what important slides I need to talk about, and 5 minutes how additional things can I add up. And if it's a longer pitch, then yeah, I can make it to my heart's content. But time is always a factor.
Right. Yeah, time is important and picking anywhere. Yeah, definitely hope you liked the pitches on that. We will have more events like these in the future. You can join us through our community at community.DueDash.com, sharing. We have also educational resources. So if you want to learn more about these, if it's on your pitching, if it's on other aspects, valuation, etc. So all on these points, you can definitely kind of join us. And maybe just to add, also going forward, if you want to get feedback from us, anything else, just reach out to us, let us know. And I think I'm just going to repeat this. We're going to have our main platform coming up soon for you guys as well. So you can join this now on the wait list and go into that. Yeah, and I'm just seeing if our jury members are coming back now. And then I think we can announce winners. Let's just see if we're all back. Marcus, was the time enough?
Yeah, just give me one moment and we are ready.
Perfect. Okay. And then we'll announce in a second. Yeah, and maybe for you, Marcus, as well. I'm just gonna I will probably in 1 second. Let me just have it. Good.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, whenever you're ready, you can share it.
Okay, and I would like to give the word to Eugenio for announcing.
Oh yeah, before we do, Marcus, one thing, maybe announce, don't forget our audience. We should also, before we do kind of a jury, let's announce the audience voting.
In that case, from the audience, the third place went to Apocado. The second place went to Yup. And the audience winner of today's session is Referrat. So now let's see in how far the audience is in line or not with the jury's voting. So Eugenio, I would like to give the word to you. And this jury voting in the end will determine also the first prize for 1 free-year use of Data Vault. So Eugenio, the stage is yours.
So we had a good discussion, and I have to say that all of the projects were engaging and interesting. So not an easy choice. The first place goes to...
No, wait, third place. You always start the other way around.
Because I'm terrible. Sorry, then maybe let's go for the third place is, we went with Aparcado.
Oh.
And then in the second place, we went with KiwiMo. And in the first place, as a surprise, we went with Uma.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Yeah, these are our 3 winners. We have Uma in the first place, KiwiMo in the second, third, Apocado. And from the audience side, the Pacado also took the third place, Yup the second, and the Fruat the first one. But still, I think all of you startups, I hope you all enjoyed it, the pitching session, that you kind of learned something from that. Maybe one thing to add, last thing. Did we have any wows, Marcus?
In that case, unfortunately, today there was no wows. But we were very close with some of them, and there was some debating because actually we had pretty much a tie between place number 1 and 2, as well as there was a challenge for place number 3. But after some quick discussions, that's what the jury came up with. Still, congratulations to all of the participating startups.
Right. Even without a wow, I think it was a very nice experience. I hope you all enjoyed it. As Marcus said, for like the winner, Uma, she got like the 1 year and license my Data Vault, which is sponsored as a prize. And of course, for all the other startups, we have a special deal. We can get 90% for the Data Vault, which enables you to securely share your documents, collaborate, get further analytics. So actually knowing, did the investor check my stuff? What is interesting? Where do I have to go further with this? So you can use the Data Vault for your own purposes. If you're interested, reach out to me. I think Marcus shared this before, but also you can just reach out to me if you need further information. Yeah, and then otherwise, thank you again, all the startups. Thank you again, Oliver and Eugenio, for taking the time, and hope you liked it. And we hope to see you all soon in our next session. The next DueDash session, which could be interesting to have at the end of the month, I think on the 29th, which is with Bloomer Ventures, an Indian VC fund, where we're going to talk about with them. It's kind of interview format. So we're going to go through kind of like the details when it means to be an investor and diving deep. Yeah, and then otherwise hope to see you on DueDash. And
I would like to say something, Michael.
Oliver, please.
So even we had so less time, not enough time to really dig deep into your business models, but we would like to thank you all. We know how hard it is to run a startup. I did it several times, and yeah, keep on going, keep on trying. It was a nice evening. It was more like a fun game tonight. It wasn't really an investor's pitch. So keep on going, and you are on a good road.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I'd like to also echo what Oliver said and add a little thing. It went really fast. There are lots of really great ideas here. So keep pushing. Feel free, I'm sure Oliver would say the same thing, but feel free to reach out to us, any one of you, to discuss your projects. We would love to provide support, provide more direct feedback about what works, what doesn't work. What engages us, what is unclear. So feel free to reach out to us. We would love to support you further.
Yeah, maybe just like this last question to you, Oliver Eugenio. We're fine with be sharing probably your email then to the startups as well. So
yeah, email or
sure.
my LinkedIn. Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Yeah, then thank you again, you two also, and again to the startups. And then hope to see you all soon. And yeah, hearing news from your successful fundraise in the near future.
Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you. Good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.